So, but it's not rusty, is it? Is it rust?
You didn't really just say that, did you?
I got a message about an old Shelby for sale. Not really a barn find. Maintained for years by one owner.
All right, Coral.
I thought if I could get these people a fair price and get somebody their dream car, could be a Hollywood ending.
Jeff.
Oh my God.
This is Jeff's dream car. He's been wanting a Shelby 30-40 years. This baby boomer is not a collector and needs help to set a fair price. Shelby restorer Jeff Yurgovich will do that.
But it's got the correct hood, it's got the correct plenum.
I got it in 1983, we decided, right?
So, yeah.
Hello! How are you?
And we're getting older and it's just time. Our kids aren't interested in them.
Jeff and Leslie arrive to buy a Shelby. They meet Curtis and Kate.
Our grandchildren are too little to be interested.
Hello, I'm Leslie. Very nice to meet you.
Good to see you guys.
Will this old Shelby start and run?
I like it there. It's very nice.
Our people, that's all right. I'm Leslie. Very
Hi,
nice to meet you, ma'am.
Kate.
Jeff Kruger, nice to meet
Nice
you,
to
Kate.
meet
How are you?
Good.
I'm
How
Jeff
are you?
Yurgovich.
I recognize the face.
From our 67 Shelby barn find video.
You know, my phone's still ringing off the hook after 10 million views.
The buyer paid Jeff's appraisal of this 67. Will our buyer do that? With this 68?
I mean, I'm still not wanting to get rid of it, but I'm getting rid of it.
Same for Curtis. He's gonna sell. Bought his classic muscle car in '79. But first, the Shelby. And what so many people are after, a driver. Meaning, you don't have to pay for a restored show car. Acapulco blue, one of the most popular colors. A GT500-KR. Did you hear that 4-speed? Ram Air hood scoop.
I'm Barry Cry. I'm not kidding you.
I want it to go to somebody who knows what it is, number one, but most of all, enjoys it and doesn't stick it in a showroom somewhere.
This is incredible.
Incredible? What about the combat veteran? Double lung transplant? Weak. He said he couldn't afford a restoration, and you replied, "Who said I was going to charge you?" He could find Mustang parts on his computer, so that was the trade out. Your motto for this build? Friends prevail. Buy this, restore your own fastback, a Shelby. We'd like to see that dream come true for you or anybody else with a heart that big.
Were you watching him when that car came out of the garage?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best car he's ever seen. This is his dream car, and I could see it on his face, and it gave me the chills and goosebumps to see him so happy to finally see the car that is his dream car. He deserves it. He's a good husband.
Car wife.
He's a good man.
Good life.
Yeah. My saying is car life, car wife.
Test drives are certainly not the norm anymore, but everybody seemed to be getting along really well. What could go wrong?
Yeah, but I do have to say you have to put your seatbelt on.
It's a.
Did you need some help with
I
that?
tell you, it's it's always fun with the 5 points. So, and that clutch.
Yeah.
It's that 4-speed. There's a bushing up under the dash that's bad or completely worn out. These should sit about like this.
Which is why as you age,
Yeah, that knee feels so good on things, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. I love the tilt steering. This button here is for the tilt-away steering wheel, and it's broken off. That makes the steering wheel fly. It's a tilt flyaway wheel. This will tilt, and it will flip to the side when you open the door. This is the hose for the tilt steering wheel, and it's a Jenny hose. Obviously, the vacuum lines on this car are not hooked up properly. This is not even hooked up to anything. It's just there for looks. We can have our drive together.
All right.
Wow, I'm driving a KR500. Here we go.
There you go.
So when you redid the motor, it was just kind of getting a little tired, leaking, kind of.
It was kind of a little tired. And a friend of ours
like the department store. You break it,
That's
you buy it.
You break it, you buy it.
You break it, you buy it.
All the same. But it gets very.
Not a moment too soon. This is real.
It gets that
Brake
big.
feed. Hold on, baby.
Yep, you always do in this.
Woo. Okay. That's because I died on me. That's why I had brake fill. Okay, what are we doing here?
So it stopped?
Yeah, I lost brakes.
Did you? But you had to
Let me make sure real quick.
Yeah, I would say let's
Hold on,
see.
let me.
You got brakes?
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's.
Let's check the reservoir.
Let's gingerly go back. How about that? You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with
Let's
that.
do that. Okay. Brakes. We lost brakes. Scared the out of me.
What are you doing under there?
Nothing. What?
Trying to see if there was a bunch of brake fluid under there.
You tell Jerry you changed the brakes on this car?
Let's take his heart rate right now.
See, what do you
Oh,
think, Kate?
man.
Needless to say, we came up to the stop sign at the end of the road, and whoa, there was nothing there. So, yowie.
So
1, 2, test. Are we live?
The Shelby Maestro,
Can you hear me?
downstage, right center. At RNA Motorsports, Jeff restores Shelby's, put a mic in his hands,
You know, it's like
and he becomes a lounge act.
the first time. You're the camera guy. You're supposed to be on top of this thing.
Okay, Jeff, take it away.
So anyway, yeah, I look at the car and have the car tell me the story, and then sometimes I feel bad for people, but it is what it is when I see it. So
Everybody can watch and ask questions.
this part right here doesn't match.
Not laid up, you mean? The originals were laid up? And
These were all smooth.
I want the person to know what they're getting, and I want to know what I have. So I'm glad Jeff came out. That's really handy.
First, is this a Shelby?
Well, looking at the VIN tag that's up here, we do have a real VIN tag for Shelby. This would be the Ford number and then the consecutive production number for the Shelby. We need to check the door tag and see if that matches. And in this case, it looks like somebody's added an overlay on here that has the Shelby VIN number on it for some reason.
Of course, we'd already verified identity with a Marty report. Kevin Marty licenses the Ford database, showing the complete makeup of the car.
There's another ID tag to this car that goes right here where this screw hole is. It's called the buck tag. And cars that came out of the Metuchen plant all had the buck tag. Well, there's a screw hole for it. It actually had a Phillips headed screw that held it down. It's a metal tag about so big. Somebody's taking it off. It's probably sitting in the top of somebody's toolbox when they fix the car.
So, what's a KR? A GT500 with a 428 Cobra jet. When Ford brought out their 428 Cobra jet in the spring of 1968 in the GT Mustang, Shelby got this engine too and upgraded the name to King of the Road in fastback and convertible. And every one had a roll bar.
KRs have the ram air for the air cleaner. But it's obviously somebody's cut it off and the rivets are gone off of it. Called daisy rivets, like a red special sealer that glued the plenum down to the bottom of the hood. And somebody's just put in there what they could to hold it because the rivets aren't holding it. It's had locking hood pins put on it, so somebody's taken off the original Zeus clip, they call that held the original style hood pin. Grill looks original. It's definitely an air conditioning car, and this has probably not been out because the hood, the horn's disconnected here, which is not a big deal. May or may not work. AC condenser's leaking a little bit. You can see oil on the front of it. The front end fiberglass is missing. It's missing two pieces right here. There's a tab on this fiberglass that sticks down, and there's a metal piece that comes out to here that support this to keep it from cracking and bouncing. Should be one on both sides. Those are both missing. Fiberglass on the bottom side of what we call the letter panel is smooth, which it should be. The headlight buckets I can see in here are both smooth, both sides. The lower valance, though, the part that's below the bumper, we call that. So this and this are the same part. It's been replaced. Should be a little clip right here in the center of this.
As seen on this restored 68.
That connects these two moldings. It's missing.
The other Jeff asked about the bumper.
It's missing the side brackets, and those are actually pretty important brackets because when you're driving, see how this flops? It will literally loosen the bumpers and they'll fall off eventually. That's an original Lucas fog light. It says England at the bottom. If you notice on the other one, it's been replaced It does not say England on the bottom of it. This is a later style. Notice the lines in the glass are different than the lines in the glass on the other side. Or this particular headlight, the right headlight, this is a General Electric headlight. The plant that these cars came out of was supplied by Tungsol, and it should have a TS and a circle down here with a Fomoco script in the light. That would be an original headlight. We can check and look on the left side and see if it's correct or not. This side's a Westinghouse, so it's been replaced also. Out of the 4 headlights in the front of it, we've got 1 original.
Jeff knows a lot more than I do about these cars.
Curtis was taking no offense.
It's good that people that buy it know what they're getting, and I want to be sure they understand, and I understand. You know, we sell it that this is what the car is. So
When we sell the car,
And Kate had the same great attitude.
we want somebody to be happy with what they buy. We bought it not knowing anything about it, just that it was a fun car. We don't know what's original, we don't know what's not. And I don't want somebody to buy this and get it home and go, oh, well, wait, this is not original. Oh, and that's not original, and that's not the way it was. And then they're not happy, then I feel bad, and I'm not happy. And so I want somebody to buy this that sees it as it is, knows about it, and takes it as it is.
There was a rubber piece, a flap that was on top of the radiator support, and they were installed 2 or 3 different ways. A lot of times they stapled them on here, and you can see the staple holes.
This one's stapled on this restored KR.
The radiator has definitely been replaced. It should have part numbers on the side of it here. The fan shroud's original, but it's been broke really bad at some point. You can see where it's got a fiberglass repair on the top of it, and I would assume it's probably fiberglass repaired on the bottom. It was probably broken half at one time. Air conditioner's got some nice original parts. The lines are original. Coming through the front. It is missing a foam seal is what it is on the radiator support. The air conditioning compressor has been replaced. It's missing the tag. On a KR, it had a special air conditioning compressor which carried a special ZX part number, and so did the clutch itself. It had a special number. Taking a close look at some of the smog stuff, the hoses and the clamps are not correct. This is an original KR, what we call a snorkel. It's missing what they call the S tube that comes down and the heat shield that goes down across the exhaust manifold. But this is KR only.
Worth about $1,000.
Where the S tube and the heat shield are Cobra Jet, so a lot of Cobra Jets.
S tube 300, heat shield 600.
We're gonna take the air cleaner lid off and take a peek. Carburetor is a 69 carburetor for a manual transmission. These carburetors were unique for the KR. This would be, this would be a 9510 AA.
$2 to $3 grand and very hard to find.
Valve covers actually should have a black wrinkle paint with the tops being shiny. Somebody's pulled these off and polished them. Smog pulley is not the correct pulley. The pump is correct. Should be a clip right here holding this linkage on, because if not, it just falls off like this when you're driving. Turn that off for a minute. Tire blowout?
Apparently, Jeff found some damage.
And a guy who bought this Shelby for his son for a graduation present, and his son...
Kate had already explained when we all first walked in the garage.
Proceeded to get like just about every ticket you could get and smacked it into a tree and did all kinds of fun things with it, and he decided it was time to go. And I bought it for, what did we decide? It was like $8,000.
Been damaged in the front here. It's showing signs of it. This fender's been replaced with an aftermarket fender, and there's damage to the hood hinge apron underneath the hood hinge. I think that's our front end damage, because our core support's good.
Yeah. So
okay, but I think it might have got hit in the wheel. We're going to take a look at the outside here a little bit. We're going to start, like the back side of the hood would normally have a black, what they call blackout stripe inside of this area right here. Stops reflection coming into the driver and the passenger. Car's obviously been repainted and the stripe's not been put back on it. The cowl itself, as I look across it, there's a dent here, and then there's some damage to the fins. That's a fairly easy fix with a hook. The side here has got a little bit of chipping and damage in here. I'm going to assume that's from the aftermarket fender not being able to fit correctly, and maybe also a wore out door hinge. This is a 69 snake. In 68 and a half, the KRs had a very unique snake that looked like a piece of jewelry. This snake should be in front of the Cobra Jet here. It should be sitting to that direction and not to the back side. So it's just a misposition of that. Yeah, this would be set up correctly where the Cobra Jet sits inside the snake. On a KR, these letters are not as bold as what you see here. We have a little bit of bubbling rust showing on the door panel, the outer skin part. The inner structure is fine. But as I go down the side of it also, I noticed not only are we missing 2 screws on the side scoop, but the side scoop is an aftermarket replacement scoop because of the style of the fiberglass inside. So this scoop has been damaged and knocked off, and it's been replaced with an aftermarket one. The upper scoop, as you can see inside, it's a real smooth surface, and this is the original side scoop up above here. And the antenna is not correct. It should have a standard antenna on the back of it. It's been bumped in the rear. It's missing the rear bumper guards. You can see the bumpers up against the fiberglass taillight panel. The gas lid, looking at this, hits on the bumper a little bit. It's just the position of the bumper. The bezels and the lenses all look correct, although both of the lenses have been off. And the way I know that, if you look where it says Fomoco, it's upside down. The wheels are just an aftermarket wheel. It's not, these cars all came with 15x6 steel wheels and hubcaps. You can just tell by looking at the paint that it's had a complete paint job put on it at some point in its life. You can look and see the paint overspray on weather strips. And this weather strip's an original. It's hard as a rock. You know, the side scoops, they're smooth fiberglass. That's original. This is an original scoop. It's missing a couple screws holding it on. Looks like somebody had it off when the car got painted. Wheel opening moldings are correct for the car, but they've been off.
So what are you looking for, Jeff?
A couple things. If it's a real 4-speed car, it'll have the shock tower bracket, which I can see right across here, which has staggered rear shocks on a 4-speed car. The right shock is in front of the rear axle. The left shock is behind the rear axle. Here's your axle, there's the shock, it's behind.
The rear quarters have been replaced on the passenger side.
Where are the spot welds? Can you point them out? That rough stuff up there?
No. Go down the quarter.
Okay.
Up where it's not undercoated. Up in here. Look here.
Okay.
You look down the quarter panel, up, down in here, and you can see where the spot welds are. On the rusty spots, you'll see little spots on it. This will make it easier for you. Here, take a look. Here's a seam right here. It runs down here. That's where this quarter's been replaced. And up here, it's had a little patch put right here on the wheelhouse. The gas tanks, every one I've seen that's like this, it's a painted gas tank, lasts a couple months and then they rust out again. Yeah, the mat's gone. Trunk has had some paint work done on it. These caps right here should be black with the sealer there, and then the body color on the actual rear body panel itself. It's been hit right here in the rear, right about here. Now it doesn't show so much on the bumper, but inside, nothing severe, but these cars were not built like a tank, so it didn't take much when somebody ran into them to cause a little damage. So we've got some rust pitting going on all the handles and the chrome. It's chrome, it's all rust pitted. The mirror is missing the knob on it here. Looking at the carpet, I can tell just by flipping that back up and looking at the stitching that this car still has the original carpet. Seats, these are, you know, this car's been sitting here in the winter. It's showing some mold and stuff on the seats. It's mold. Look, this is mold down here. You see it? Oh. Seat belts still appear to be original with the tags are all still the Shelby tags on them. Fold down rear seat appears to all be there. Somebody's added an overhead console to this. We've had some visitors up in the attic. These visitors may travel. Looking at the interior, everything appears to be original. It's not really been torn apart. It's an air conditioning car, so it's here. The gauges all appear to be correct with the 140 speedometer.
89,508.
To the 8,000 RPM tach. The radio itself is missing 2 of the rear knobs behind. The shifter's correct, but we're missing the chrome ring that went around the console. the shift plates typical to a KR. And here's the broken knob off of the mirror. All the dash pieces are original. Again, we're missing that trim piece around the button on the glove box.
To access the pit to look under the Shelby, Curtis had to move his 1969 Mustang Mach 1.
I fixed it up over the summer of '79 and started driving it to college. Yeah, I saw it at that body shop and said, yeah, I gotta have that. And when they said it was $600, I said, okay. Oh, you're too far forward. And just put it neutral on forward.
This flexible snake camera was to help us find matching engine numbers.
There's numbers on the engine. There's numbers on the transmission.
Oh, both of them.
Both of them in 68. And if you remember when we did the 67, the serial number was right here on the bottom of the transmission where we could take a great picture of it. In 68, they put the serial number on the top ear of the transmission. And we can't get in there far enough to see if it's up there.
Not with a mirror and not with this scope with a camera on the end.
This won't go to the top of the transmission. It's got to turn straight down. There's not enough room between the tunnel and here to turn it straight down to look. A lot of times they're out where you can see them, but I've seen them scattered throughout on top of the transmission.
And the matching numbers on the engine?
On a Cobra Jet car, it's going to be on the back of the left head. But if the motor's been rebuilt and they put the heads left to right, which they can do, it'll be on the right front of the head.
Behind the smog pump.
But it's not there.
We can't find it on either side. As we looked earlier above, we knew that there was some kind of damage to the left front suspension. This rod is replaced with a later version of a strut rod. In 68, the strut rods not only had a locking nut on the outer part here, they also had a safety lock nut like the right side, which this is correct for a 68. A KR has a couple unique things that are KR only. One of them being that this particular bracket is the sway bar mount bracket. It has a curved piece on each end of it, which indicates that it's a competition suspension car. All the cars with competition suspension had that little leg that hung out to keep that bushing from coming out. But on a KR, they added a flat plate between the frame and the bracket in between, and that's unique to a KR. This car has an oil cooler on it. KRs did with air. This is a unique bracket for the oil cooler. It goes on the oil adapter plate first, then this has an oil line going out to the oil cooler up front by the bumper and returning back here, and the oil filter hangs down a little bit lower. Because the oil filter hung down a little bit lower, Ford used a Fram air oil filter on them that was a little bit shorter so that it didn't hang down and catch things on the road. It's got some repairs to the right torque box where it's had some plates welded in here. See the big hole in the back of the torque box there where there's nothing there? That's gone. That's what somebody did not put in the car when it came time to fix it.
Is that a hole in the floorboard then? Open?
Yes, it's a hole in the floorboard. There's also another big hole right here in the floorboard. This is gone. This is all gone.
Gotcha. So, but it's not rusty, is it? Is it rust?
You didn't really just say that, did you? I would call that a rust hole. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, but the floorboard doesn't need replaced, right? Or does it?
Parts of it do. You know, the muffler's rusty. It needs to be replaced.
Okay.
And then above the rear axle up here, can you see that over there? There is a spot where there's two holes up in the floor.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Okay. That's where the air shock lines went up into the trunk so you could air the rear shocks up. Now it doesn't have air shocks in it anymore and the holes are still there. It's a 9-inch original, and looking at the tag, which I've looked at, which is right here, it has a C8ZX on it, which is correct for this vehicle.
Let's see.
I wiped it off with my gloves.
Okay.
The rear springs have been replaced, and normally on a spring this would come straight out. These have a curved upward, so the original leaf springs are unique to the car with a part number because the car had competition suspension. That's a key piece for a Shelby to have. When you guys sat right there and said, oh my God, we did the springs, we had no idea.
We didn't. No, because when we bought it, it sat funny.
It's supposed to sit funny.
Well, I knew it was, but it was uncomfortable driving. I'm shorter, so when I sit in that front seat and it's sitting like this, I can't see out of it, you know, and I can't drive it, and I'm driving, you know, I'm driving it. It's a fun car.
There's a picture.
I got to be able to see. If you're 5'5" and you're sitting in that seat, you can't
see over the hood.
It's the competition suspension.
Whereby the car sits lower in the back.
I had no idea that some of the things that we did even detracted from the value of this car. Because to me, it was never a collector car. It was a fun car.
The problem with me telling you what I think it's worth today is kind of mute, because there's always somebody out there that don't care, and they'll just go overpay for it. Oh, I found the car, I'll go get whatever. Guys like him, he wants to keep this car.
This is the dream car. This is the car we've always wanted. I mean, this is it.
If it wasn't blue, they wouldn't be out.
Yeah, and it's not red.
It needs about $35,000 worth of sheet metal work on it. Air clean. Every KR I go look at, the snorkel's gone off the air cleaner, and this one's got it. The starter delay that it's missing, it's like a piece that makes it a KR. So half of the starter delay sticks out inside the neck of this, hangs out over the starter solenoid, and half of it sticks in the nose of the air cleaner snorkel. It's $2,200 for a starter delay.
Wow.
And it's not there, you know. So a guy that doesn't know a lot that goes, oh, you know, it looks like a really good deal, and then you start going and you start adding the parts up, and all of a sudden you're 20-30 grand in parts and 30 grand in sheet metal work, and now you've done the sheet metal work and you got to paint it again, and paint's not cheap. That's kind of my evaluation. I believe the car's somewhere between 68 to 72.
Well, this is why we didn't go the auction route.
We
wanted to know, exactly what it was.
Could that car do an auction? I'm saying 68 to 72, and you take it to an auction and it brings 70. Now they're going to take 10% of that. Now,
Well, what I meant was, the people that were going to do it, they knew nothing, and I was afraid that it would go, and it wasn't what we thought.
And once again, we don't want it for cheap. We're here because we think this is the fair way to do things. Everybody knows exactly what we're getting into. As we talked earlier, there's, I don't call you 6 months from now and go, did you realize the quarter brown?
Okay, my name is Blue. Our business enterprise, our LLC, is Beautiful and Blue Enterprises. And my wedding ring is a blue sapphire. And we just bought a blue KR.
For $68,000 plus.
When I'm done with the car, I will pay for you to fly into wherever that's at that time, if that's New Braunfels or Lubbock, Texas, and you can come for the grand unveiling. So I'll sweeten the deal.
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Right?
Are you?
I'm okay with that.
So.
And what happened with the Mach 1? Curtis did want to sell it.
You have a $46,000 offer on your 69 at this second in time.
Do we need to give you hugs?
They want to make a decision right now, but
Two on that one?
sit on it
Sleep on
for.
It's been a big day.
It's been a little emotional day.
It's been a big day. Now you're going to open it up for me. Let's see how fun it is, huh?
First time I've ever taken it above 4,500.
Nothing like the 428.
Smog system removed. Here's the one stock with smog. Equipped with various speed parts, this is a resto mod.
You've got the MSD coil blaster, you have the MSD distributor, aluminum Edelbrock intake. Valve covers look correct for the vehicle. Shaker hood scoop assembly on it. Replacement tag here, probably because it's a color change car. Again, this 69 made in the touch and assembly plant. 02 is 69 fastback, Mach 1. R meaning that it is a shaker hood scoop car. This door's had a lot of work to it. It's got a lot of Bondo in it. There's no seams or anything down here where you can see where the skin wraps around. So could have been that it had rust and it's gotten fixed up. Vehicle. Typically on a Mach 1 you would have a side stripe that would run from down here all the way down the side of the vehicle and say Mach 1 right here.
If you could pick one thing, I love this.
I've always liked this 69 body style.
Okay.
Just like the way it looks.
Like the way it looks?
Yeah, I didn't like the 70s because they lost those four lights.
Lost the 4 lights and lost the scoop on the back.
And they lost the scoop, yeah.
Even on a resto mod, you'd like to see that the pinch welds down here at the very bottom are painted black. Gives the car a little bit more depth.
Yeah, there was a guy that redid the body and did the paint. I did the interior and then put it all back together, and that's what we have.
You know, I love how the shaker shakes in these cars. It's just
Yeah, you like to see that move when you stomp on it?
Yes, it's got replacement seats in it. This is stamped on a machine to look like Comfort Weave, but it doesn't breathe. Got one of the newer aftermarket rim blow steering wheels. This steering wheel is when you push this rubber insert here in the middle of the horns honk. It's got a new replacement horn pad on it.
I used to go out when I was a kid and chase Camaros. I like that exhaust.
yeah, it sounds really lovely.
Back looks good. Got typical little twice pipes, I call them, that it's typical of a 69 Mach 1. Typical knob here that's a 68, early 69 style knob. This is a deluxe interior car, but this should have chrome rings around the seat belt and not black. Trunk looks nice, presentable. It's got a rubber style mat. It's all painted up. It has no fold down seat.
Eventually everything changes and things go, so, you know.
I've been friends with this guy for 41 years.
Final price to Jeff's friend next day, $48,000.
You look good in the Mach 1.
There you go, you match. 2 for 1 split.
2 for 1 split. I don't think Kurt's gonna let you have that one today. I'm sorry.